Yo, salute. What's going on? Shout out to the Dream Builders. Salute to the Dream Builders. How y'all feeling? All right, this your man, Words Taylor. So we are back with another episode in the Ready to Launch series where we're helping new and aspiring entrepreneurs be able to get more customers in their business and start creating a predictable income. All right, so I'm talking about my strategies on exactly how to start growing your business, where you be able to retain your customers and get the transformation that they're looking for. Okay, so I do this because I'm answering questions from my email list. So if you have questions, you can always put it down below. But the people send questions, I create videos. It's perfect. We have a great relationship. So this one is what are some of your customer retention strategies? I'm in a position now where I have customers coming in, but they're not staying on long term. Oh, this is good. Okay, cool. So I got a couple things for this that I do. I have a couple things that I do here. So one is I want to create the ultimate experience from the beginning. Okay, am I? Okay, I thought that was about to say y'all got me out here with the elbows. Okay, so the first thing I do is you all hear me talk about we have 5 calls a week. We have a community. I also let me just start off by saying that the great way to retain a customer is by giving them a result. And providing a great service. Let me start off just by saying that. I don't care if it's a physical product, digital product, a service-based industry, which is primarily who I end up working with. But the biggest way to retain people is by providing quality. I want a quality experience. I want a quality product. All right, that's the biggest way. If you provide a quality experience, it's going to make people feel great about working with you. If you provide a quality product, it's going to make people feel great about supporting your product and telling other people about it. And then when they come back, they're going to use you again. Apple does it. That's why they can have the iPhone 15, 16, 17. It's the same phone, but people for them, it's quality, and it creates a certain standard in their life. So they're going to continue to do it. That's the first thing I was saying. Now, the second thing is, let's talk about these two things. How do you create a great experience? Well, you decide. This is where customer research come from. Like, I looked at and I literally interviewed people that are in my target audience, and I asked them, what do they look for in the community? And they talked about, man, I want to be able to talk to somebody live. I don't want the rope-a-dope where the switcheroo where they get me in and then I never am able to talk to them again. And they were like, I don't want to just feel like I'm watching a computer all day and all of those things. And I want to go on a journey with other people. Like, I took everything they said and I created the experience. So that's why we have 5 calls a day 5 calls a week where you can talk to a live person. That's why inside of my program, the videos are between 5 to 7 minutes. Like, they're longer out here on YouTube than they are in my actual program, right? Because I'm very specific in there. And not only that, there's a worksheet. So I have you spend more time doing the actual work than you are listening to me. So I put these things together because the other thing in retention is about, especially when it's service-based business, is about getting a result. If you get the person a result, then they're going to stay. Not only that, but the way you get them a result is by not creating so many barriers that they have to jump through, like having 2-hour videos. You don't want 3-hour videos that they have to watch and all that, because it's going to take them longer to get through. It's just, if they miss something, now it's like, I'm not about to go back to a 3-hour video and see what I missed. All right. And then they're taking notes, and now they have to figure out, okay, what do I do with these notes? Or you're just giving them busy work. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. So it doesn't get them a result. So therefore, if they're not getting a result, or they don't fully watch the videos, or they don't fully show up for the training or anything like that, then you're not going to retain them. because they're feeling like it's a waste of their time. So you have to still keep some type of barriers where they can, but make the barriers have a reward. It has to be short barriers. Can't be this extended barrier that I'm in for weeks at a time in order to get a result. So that's why I break my program down in phases. There's phase 1, 2, and 3. Phase 1, you're in for 3 weeks. Pow, you get it. But inside of it, there are quick rewards where every time you finish a worksheet, this is one step further because this connects to this. You get that reward. And this is how you start retaining people, because there's a goal that you're trying to set. So it's important that you understand the customer journey. Once they're inside of your program, you have to have a customer journey. Week 1, they're going to be here, week 2, week 3, week 4. So I'm going to project the journey. When I project it, by projecting, I mean, I'm going to show you you're here, but you're going to get to here. And if they understand that, you retain the person by constantly showing them, okay, look at where you're at now. Look how far you come. Look, you're almost there. Because they want to hit the goal. You put something in front of them, they want to hit it. You have to have a system in place to be able to do that. You have to have structure in place to be able to do that. All right. And then what happens after? So like I do a 6-week boot camp. What happens after the 6 weeks? And we're thinking about actually doing it for 6 months now, because I've learned that once you've been in for 6 months, it just gets ugly for you. Your business starts to just, you know what I'm saying? But let's not even go in there. But let's say I do the 6-week boot camp. We've learned that after the boot camp, 30% of the people actually want to stay on board and continue. Okay, so we're like, okay, cool. For me, you're just not gonna get everybody, but you want manageable numbers that you can, build and scale your business off of. 30%, we can do that. So every 100 that joins the boot camp, 30 of them say, I want to stay with you. And I'm willing to do a monthly subscription for that. All right. We've created a dope experience to where they want to stay. So what do we now do? How do we get them to stay? Another thing we add on top of that is an incentive for staying. All right. If you stay, if you're part of our, I'm gonna just say continuity, but whatever you want to call it, if you're part of our continuity, then you also get access to this. You've unlocked this thing. So they're like, what? So I have one of my dream builders where she just has her content and she has the weekly group. But after the 6-week boot camp, if you stay on for the continuity, she then says, now you've unlocked the weekly calls with me, live calls with me. So people are like, oh, this is crazy. I definitely want that. So these are things that you can do to start to retain people. It's like, all right, one, what experience am I creating? All right, am I giving quality in the product? Okay, am I projecting exactly where you are and where you're going? So do they know that? Have you told them? Like when we first come in and we do an orientation, we tell you this is what you can expect. These are the weeks, all of those things. And then are you incentivizing them to stay? Right? So sometimes it's like you assume people are going to just stay. You assume you're doing a great service, but you may not be. And then something else, the last thing we've implemented is anybody that does not stay, I try to get them to do a survey. Not everybody's going to do it. But I told my team, I want to know why. I'm like, in my head, we're creating the greatest experience ever. Why aren't they staying? So now I can take that and I can start to implement those things into my program as well. And then we can see, because we used to only get 10% of the people staying. But as we still get feedback, now what happens is we take that feedback, we implement it. We take some feedback is like, nah, that don't make sense. But we take the feedback that is relevant, that we know we can do and start. And now guess what? We went from 10% to 15% to 20% to now 30% of the people are starting to stay. And you have to have things in place like that. sometimes it's important. We want to hear the good things. We want to hear the people that talks about how dope we are and how dope our product is and all those things. But it's a lot of value in hearing the person that says, no, I don't want to stay. There's a lot of value in hearing from that person, because they're going to help with the person that thinks like them, that's still coming down, to your business later, is going to help to retain them. All right. So that was just a few of my retention strategies that I use. Oh, here's another thing that I do is this is for service based, right? So, and you can do this if you have a product as well. I have one person that is dedicated to looking at where they are in the process, and if they're not on track with, let's say they've been in for 4 weeks and their content is still on week 2, I have her give them a call. Like, yo, what's the problem? What's going on? What are you needing in order to get back engaged? And some people are like, this phone call helped me. I'll be on the calls and I'm gonna re-engage again. And it's just people just wanting to know that they're not going through this alone. That was helpful. Or you just sold a product. I had somebody hit me up, amazing service. From one-time experience, I'm now not gonna use nobody else is gonna touch my car. Y'all know we moved to Texas, and I haven't found a mechanic out there yet. And I go to Jiffy Lube. Jiffy Lube recommends this mechanic. And I'm like, okay, cool. They gave me a list of all things wrong with my car. And they said, oh, we saw some little knick-knack things, like this was coming off. This was doing this. This was doing this. And so they fixed the knickknacks and did my service and vacuumed the car, filled up the tires, all of those things. And I was like, what? No. I said, well, how much do I owe you for all of this? Oh, you're just paying for this. And I said, okay, all right. And then guess what? They then called me 2 days later. A random call. I'm thinking they forgot something, like, hey, Mr. Taylor, what's going on? How's the car running for you? I said, oh, it's great. I'm actually on the road now. I'm going on a trip with my family. Okay, cool. Hey, just wanted to make sure everything worked out well. Is this still intact? Is that intact? I'm like, yeah, it is. He said, okay, cool. I noticed that we also needed to focus on, there was something going on with the wheel. I know we told you can wait a little bit on that, but I wanted to get you in once you return. And I said, oh, okay. Well, did you have time to set up a date now? Well, yes, I do. All right, I'll be back on this day. I can bring the car to you the next day. Cool, let's make that the plan. I said, wow. I bet you no one else touches this car, because they treated it like it was theirs. They act like they cared about my safety. And I don't care if they're like, well, they're just doing that because they want the customer. That's what I want you to do, though. Treat me in a way that shows me like you value my money that I work hard to get. Treat me that way, and you will retain me, I promise. You're gonna retain me. Okay? Now guess who now has a customer as long as you all are 10 miles, that same 15 miles from me. Like if you go, I may even go, if they moved and they were 30 miles away, I might still just go down there. Just because the service was that great. Quality service, quality experience, the checkup was great, the accountability, doing things that I didn't, the over-deliver, doing things that I didn't even ask them to do. What? Yes. Go ahead. You vacuuming out the car. I told them that, I was going on my trip and all this stuff. We're getting on a road trip. They vacuumed out the car and checked everything and all this stuff. And I had just gotten the oil change because I'm going on a road trip. And they still checked that. It was like, oh, yeah, you seem to be good on the oil. I said, yeah, actually, Jiffy Lube is the one that recommended me to you. So I had just gotten the oil change. Y'all check the oil? Because I told you. And maybe that's part of their process. I don't know. But I like it. I think it's a great part of your process. Keep it. Because the fact that you did that, you're retaining me. I'm retained. All right, let's get this work, y'all. So those are my retention strategy. Provide a quality product, quality experience, okay? And get people the results that they're looking for. And watch and see, don't you retain them. Incentivize people. Let's go. Ugh.